What's up, devs? Welcome to the first devlog of Budgeteze. Budgeteze is a personal finance app called a budget. Now you might be saying to yourself, Travis, there's like a million budget apps out there. And well, you're right, but I got problems with all of them. Either the UI is too clunky, you can't accurately import all your transactions, or they're just too dang easy to cheat with. Either way, we've got a ton of work to do. Over the past several months, I've been working hard to get a proof of concept. So far, we got a great list of features to go over today. One, we got authentication, we got creating budgets, categories, and subcategories, importing our transactions from a CSV, and we also have categorizing them by splitting them into multiple categories. Without further ado, let's dive into the demo.
Welcome to Budgeteze. As you can tell, the home page for the app is mostly plain Jane, out-of-the-box Blazor. That will change here shortly in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and log in. Alright, so once we logged in, we now have a budget item in our menu. So let's go there. I'm going to manually change the date to a new month that I haven't used. So now that we're here, we can go ahead and create a budget. Now when you create a budget, and it's your very first time creating a budget, you get basically just the income. However, if you've created a budget in the past, as in the previous month, it will go in and it will copy that forward for you. So we'll go ahead and we'll add an item for our income. We'll call this paycheck 1. And let's just make something random like 1500. And let's go ahead and add a category. And we can just call this test 1. And then we can add our item here for test 2. Perfect. We'll want to go ahead and upload our transaction CSV. So I'd say a transaction. We'll pick our file. Once all our transactions have been uploaded, we're going to close out this window. Now all my test data, it just contains a bunch of libsum aurum for the descriptions. So in order to categorize these, I'll just click on the split button. I'm going to type in test 2, and we'll make this the full amount, 1483. Save that. We want to split this one. Call this one also for test 2. We'll call this 530. And save. Then we'll just go ahead and update our budget amount here to be $50. Alright, so we can see that even though we've added 2 transactions here, it still says that we have $50 remaining. So let's just go ahead and refresh the page. And now that we see we actually have $29.87, and if we click on this, we actually see our 2 transactions here. So this app isn't production ready yet, but it's come a long ways, and I think it's a great proof of concept. Now, if I want to easily navigate in between different months of my budget, I can just use this drop-down arrow. So all the months that have a dashed border don't have budgets yet. The green month is the one that you're currently on, and the solid black bordered ones are other months that have budgets.
Now all the success did not come without a struggle. For the last 7 years or so, I've been a desktop developer. Now creating a UWP app would have been a blast for Budgeteze, but completely unnecessary. We don't need the power of a desktop, and I want to be able to deploy and keep this app up to date worldwide. So the solution that makes sense is a web app. Now, the last time I wrote a web app was like 2016, so it's been a minute. And so I decided to learn a new piece of tech called Blazor to handle all my UI bindings instead of relearning a JavaScript library like Angular. Now Blazor is C# but for the front end of web. So I can now have a full stack C# web app, which is awesome because I love creating .NET applications. Overall, Blazor has been a huge lifesaver. After a very small learning curve, I found creating a Blazor app is very similar to creating a WPF or UWPF, but for the web. My favorite part of Blazor is the component system. It's like creating a bunch of user controls that you'd see in a bunch of desktop technologies. Now comes the problem with how I want to host the back end of the application. Microsoft Azure has a product called Static Web Apps, and I thought this was going to be awesome. Because a Blazor WASM website that I was creating for Budgeteze is a static website. And all I need is an API for it to call. So static web apps seem like to be a perfect fit. However, it uses Azure Functions to be the backend API. Now Azure Functions is great. It's got a really awesome free tier that really helps a guy creating an app on a budget. Now in theory, this sounds great, but in my case it was a complete dumpster fire. Not only were the calls taking forever, I mean seriously, like Paint was drying faster than my authentication calls were. But once the servers even warmed up, I was getting a million network errors. Thankfully, Azure has other compute options for me, and in comes our Lord and Savior, the app service. Okay, maybe that's taking that a wee bit too far. However, this is where we can actually host our backend APIs, and it's running great. Now, Budgeteze has a long ways to go before it's production ready, and this is where you can help me create it together. You guys gotta let me know what features you'd love to help make this the best budget tool in the world. You guys gotta let me know what you like and what you don't dislike about Budgeteze as we go down this path together. In the next devlog, we are going to be covering a whole bunch of refactoring and changing out our data storage layer. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and drop a comment below so you don't miss out. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.